Hello, hello, hello! It's good to see you again! I hope you're in a perfect shape and mood and ready to join me for this new video of the series How About Living in Mougins? I am Fabricio Carminati. Actually, we are your personal property hunters on the French Riviera. Yes, as we are now a team of 4 with Laurent, my associate, Ray and Sammy. And we will soon be a team of 6, but I will talk about that and other news shortly in another video. New websites, new developments, new services, very exciting news. I will keep you posted. So today we are in Mougins. Why Mougins? Well, because Mougins is the favorite area of most foreigners buying and selling on the French Riviera. You guys love this place for its international atmosphere, and you're right to do so. There are lots of people living here from all over Northern Europe, the US, Canada, and surely other parts of the world. Also because Sofia Antipolis Technopole is implemented close by and hires people from all over the world. And maybe also because there are 4 international renowned schools in Mougins or just nearby. The Mougins School and the Muratoglu International School in Mougins and the Aseika and CIV schools in Valbonne. Mougins area, here delimited in red, is located at the north of Cannes and northwest of Antibes, with the old village, Mougins Village, situated just in the middle, here. You will need to drive about 30 minutes to get to the Nice International Airport and about 20 minutes to get to Cannes or Antibes train station. Mougins is delimited on the south by the A8 highway with 2 accesses, here and here, and is only 20 minutes drive from the nearest beaches, just here. As I was telling before, Mougins is a residential area with mostly houses. It seems quite dense when looking from the sky, but when you zoom in, you can see there is a lot of greenery, and Mougins also benefits from a large natural park located here, called Le Parc de la Valmasque, which I will show you a little later on. You might also have heard of Mougins-le-Haut. Mougins Village is the real old village, when Mougins-le-Haut, located at the south of the Mougins area, is a real estate complex built in the 80s, inspired from the old villages of the region. It's a big complex, lodging about 4,600 inhabitants, with shops, a town hall, a post office, a police station, 2 schools, a kindergarten, a sports complex with tennis courts and swimming pool, a library, and a youth center. But the historical village is Mougins Village. So, what's happened here in the last 6,000 years? Well, apparently from 1966 discoveries, there were at least 61 inhabitants some 6,000 years ago, all living in the Breguière Cavern, a 600 square meter cavern with a large swimming pool, jacuzzi, hammam, and tennis court, although this isn't quite sure as the tennis ball had not been invented yet. Then, during the Roman Empire, Mougins became a supplying point of the Via Julia Augusta linking Italy to Spain. The village of Mougins was built in the Middle Age, and in the 11th century it was given by the county of Antibes to the Lérins Abbey, the one in the Lérins Islands. Then, the village became a fortified place under the Count of Provence, which helped it in better resisting to local wars and conflicts throughout the 16th century until 1747, when it was burned and destroyed by the Austrian army. Happy times. It is only at the middle of the 20th century that Mougins started attracting tourists and artists and built its actual reputation that also includes gastronomy. Many celebrities lived or visited Mougins, like Christian Dior, Edith Piaf, Winston Churchill, Jacques Brel, Yves Saint Laurent, Coco Chanel, but also Elizabeth Taylor, Sharon Stone, Sean Connery, the most recent one being the galaxy-famous singer Rihanna, who bought a house here in 2018. Surely, given the weather here, she hasn't much to use her umbrella, Ella. But the most famous of these celebrities is certainly Pablo Picasso. And to speak about Pablo Picasso's love story with Mougins, I thought it would be better to do it from here, the chapel Notre-Dame de Vie. Picasso left Cannes in 1966 and bought a large villa in this neighborhood as a wedding present to his wife Jacqueline, and that's where he spent the last 12 years of his life. He literally shut himself away in this house almost reclusively and produced some 300 works before passing away in 1973. Picasso's house was then managed by a Dutch art dealer and connoisseur who invested millions of euros in extensive renovation works. He refurbished the farmhouse while preserving every detail of the artist's studio before finally the house was being sold by Picasso's daughter-in-law in 2017. The new owner is Rayo Witanagas, something like that, a New Zealand businessman of Sri Lankan origin who only opens it to a happy few for private visits. Picasso bought the house from the Guinness family. Yes, the stout Guinness beer producers. By the way, the chapel has its own story. Stillborn children were welcomed here for baptism. It is said that this rare practice consisted of resuscitating the children for a few moments in order to ensure their eternal peace through baptism.
It's alive! It's alive! It's alive!
So, what can you do in Mougins? Well, first, enjoy an excellent meal. Yes, my friends, the history of Mougins is closely linked to French and international gastronomy, and since 2012, Mougins has been the only town in France to be awarded the Ville et Métiers d'Art label for gastronomy. The story begins in the 50s when Célestin Véran, a cook in the French Navy and then a fisherman in Cannes, who transformed his boat into a sea taxi, and while fishing, he took for a boat tour the rich and idle Englishman who had come to spend the winter on the French Riviera. Little by little, his clients got into the habit of going up to Mougins to taste his famous bouillabaisse prepared with freshly caught fish, and they discovered the gentle way of life in the village. In 1969, Roger Verger, the inventor of La Cuisine du Soleil, opens Le Moulin de Mougins, which gains a first-star Michelin only 1 year after opening, a second one in 1972, and total celebrity with the third one in 1974. In 1977, he opens a second restaurant, L'Amandier, which will also gain its own stars. A little later in the 70s, André Surmain, the charismatic former chef of the Lutèce in New York, then considered one of the most famous restaurants in the US, falls in love with Mougins. Together with his wife, he opens Le Relais Le Feu Follet and helps to expand the international gastronomic reputation of the village together with Roger Verger. In 1992, Mougins has 7 stars in the Michelin Guide and is the most starred village in France. In 1994, during the Cannes Film Festival, the Amphar chooses the Moulin de Mougins to host its prestigious charity gala. The greatest international stars discover Roger Verger's cuisine, and many of them become loyal guests, seduced by the combination of talent, high standards, elegance, and conviviality, characteristics of the Verger couple. Today, some 50 restaurants offering local bistronomic and gastronomic cuisine contribute to Mougins' gastronomic reputation, both in France and abroad. Mougins also holds twice a year a gastronomic festival, Les Étoiles de Mougins, where famous chefs meet and reveal their talents and secrets during numerous meetings and culinary shows. And once you've had an excellent meal and wine, it's time for some sport. A wide choice of sports is available in Mougins. You can practice golf at one of the 2 golf courses located in the Mougins area, the Royal Mougins Golf Resort and the Cannes Mougins Golf Club. And if you want to discover other fairways, you have a wide choices with 7 other golf courses all around Mougins. Tennis is another option with several tennis clubs available, the most famous one being the Muratoglu Resort, offering multiple tennis and paddle courts, swimming pool, spa, hotel, and a tennis academy. The resort was opened by Patrick Muratoglu, Serena Williams' coach. Otherwise, you can practice some outdoor sports in the Parc de la Valmasque. That's where we are now. The park is around 1,500 acres, half in Mougins area and half in Valbonne area. Here there are tons of trails that you can follow, whether hiking, running, or mountain biking. There, in blue and white, blue helmet, that's me! Oh, and here again! The good thing is that the park is only slightly hilly, so you can ride or hike for hours without dying on the climbs. You can also practice on the fitness trail, or if you feel more like a botanist, you can follow the insect discovery trail and try to identify the species as you walk. Don't forget to bring along an anti-mosquito spray, to protect you of course, not to kill them. You can kill them at home, but not in a natural park, obviously. Or you can visit l'étang de Fontemerle, the Fontemerle Pond. It's the true jewel of the park and it offers a grandiose spectacle in summer with tons of lotus flowers floating on the surface. It's beautiful. An ornithological observatory allows you to observe and recognize the fauna, ducks, moorhens, herons, coots, egrets, etc. Some 60 species of migratory or sedentary birds take refuge here. So, what are the real estate prices in Mougins? Well, it depends where exactly in Mougins you are. Have you heard that in my previous videos already? Yes, I know it's not very original, but it's true. It depends whether you are closer to the Gulf, or in a deluxe secured domain, or it depends on the finishing of the house, for example. Anyway, the average price of the Mougins area is of 6,300 euros for a house, ranking from 4,000 euros to 9,800 euros, and 4,900 euros for an apartment, ranking from 3,000 euros to 7,600 euros. There are seven price zones in the Mougins area. Mougins-le-Haut, then the south area delimited north by the highway here, the central area going from Mougins village, going south, the southwest area that almost reaches Mandelieu here, the Valmasque Park area there, the north part here around Fond-de-l'Orme, and the west area going north from the Royal Mougins Golf Course. The cheapest one being Mougins-le-Haut, the 1980s village, and the most expensive one is at the west of the area going north from the Royal Golf Course. These are of course average prices, but again, depending on the house quality, its environment, its finishings, almost anywhere in Mougins there can be a house being sold well above those prices. Of course, there is always room for negotiation, and that's what we do. Always negotiate with the buyer's interest in mind. One question we often have about Mougins is the sea view. It is not easy to have sea view from Mougins, first because, as we can see in this animation, Mougins is moderately hilled, a big part is flat, and the sea is at 6 to 10 kilometers, so you will never find a full sea view. You can have a sea view in this area here, or here, which is only a small part of Mougins. And now it's time for our new series, Best of Agents! So here we are making our first calls to agencies for houses we have put in our first selection table for one of our clients, and we are calling an agency about a beautiful contemporary house in the hills of Nice with plain sea view. The price is somewhat strangely low for this kind of house, so the first question we ask is, what is the problem? And the agency's answer is, oh yeah, there is a slight problem indeed. The problem is that you can hear the noise coming from the nearby highway. But, you know, within 15 years, all cars will be electric, so your clients don't need to worry about the noise, it's only temporary.
Oh my God.
I really like to know what's her definition of temporary. I told you, house hunting can be fun. Well, that's all for this new video in Mougins. I hope you really liked it. If you did, please click on the thumb up and subscribe to my YouTube channel here, below this video, and feel free to leave a comment or a question. I'll be more than happy to answer it. In the meantime, take care, have fun, enjoy your summer, and I can't wait meeting you again for my next video. Take care, bye bye now!